I am a brown river, defying like all rivers the great swell of literature. Brown like a palette of rainbow shades spoiled by a child. Brown the colour of everything, eventually. I'm no one's father or mother. I take nothing, I give nothing. I make an orchestra of sounds from trickles to thumps as long as I have things to come up against or run between. Rocks, mountains, bodies, waste paper, aluminium, shipwrecks. I admit that I can be beautiful on a cold summer's day, a vivid watery forest of sky, trees and foamy nimbus. But then my beauty is an optical illusion, a brain's way of cheering itself, or an excuse to take a twitchy aim at creativity. All rivers, if one believes drunks or poets, are coloured green, blue, white-flecked, unknowing, are clogged with the same nationalistic plankton. Play down your red blood, your heroic forebears, and your hairy ginger knees, woven warm in tartan fictions. Your workaday humans with no distinction unless it be the size of the chips you carry. They poke from every Celtic joint like phantom thorns, chronic pain of mysterious origin, but an excuse to do nothing but weep, drink, and blame. There is no one here who did not come like me from somewhere else. Here in Dundee's heart I am urban river, dirty, scummed, poisonously warm around the edges. I cannot be bothered to clean my perimeter. Whatever currents and whirlpools filter my pulsing centre never survive the outward journey. At my city rim I am old river left behind for centuries, little more than a rotting puddle licking the same slimy wall, weed and shingle, carrying the same reminders of waste and death, fragmented and pickled by salt. I love to slop into the corners between ancient steps and patched wall where no sane eye bothers to look. My Dundee self is an unemployed with 6 wains by different fathers, Tay. A place to chuck yourself into when you've had enough, then regret it halfway down and survive, just. The city has left me steadfastly unpretentious. Capitalism has turned its back on my estuary with smoked glass and club-clad cloister, with much other unforgivable architecture, with rubble on its costly way up or down. I'm forced to collude with the deification of a mediocre poet whom I remember only somewhat. Doggerel death is no more to me than any other sort. I see the tops of Sunday rods lined up against Riverside Drive, and cars, splay-doored and noisy as if my dumb fish too are wearing earphones while consulting dross earnestly. People, of course, never change. Whether this is something to weep over or celebrate, I cannot decide. Here is a man who has reached the end of his tether again. Every Friday night since time began I have listened to him, watched as he swore to do himself in, seen Mr. Canute succeed accidentally by wobbling clownishly drunk on a narrow bit of wall, tripping on a cobbled pier, or being encouraged with a shove from mate or spouse. Here, a woman, broken like her high heels, regularly, and repaired as easily. This one, like oceans of others, will vomit copiously. I receive it as I must. Why does this keep happening to me? She asks the girls who have learnt to hover in expectation of undigested kebab. And there she flows, spouting filaments of self-knowledge that float away with unexpected sauce and stuck-on nails. She falls asleep just out of my reach. The children, how I hate the small bodies, the tiny bones, the undaunted struggle to survive. Can I say that I lay them down still perfect on the warm, distant shores of heaven at the feet of a loving God? Can I say that I throw them up time after time rather than swallow? Can I say that fish, that sea slugs, that propellers do not mangle their beauty? I cannot lie, I cannot tell the truth, but I am a vat of tears, not just a river. Children, mad, reckless heartbreakers, balancing on one stupid leg, swimming out to rescue dogs, balls, nothings. Lonely girls I would parent if I could, throw newborns who have barely breathed into my cold arms, and then themselves. Pain, I have borne witness to pain, to exclusion, to the despairing eloquence of the waiting to die. I have no answer but my relentless occupation of a space that moves. I will never leave because I cannot go where I want any more than you. I have no skin to pack myself into, no imagined purpose or boundaries, for I am a river in thrall to the moon. I have feared no pollutant so much as the deadly disinfectant of respectability, marching in bitching bonnets, bustles, parasols, tweeds, organic cottons, careers, not jobs, mind, and faithful husbands, across, around, and modest ankle-deep in my shadows. At night I harden into a solid fortress beyond the Magdalen Yard. not silvery, because that word implies movement. I am pitiless grey rock streaked with darker seams, petrified by the rays of the moon. I'm ugly, I'm remarkable, and I deserve more than the usual discharge of superlatives. It gives a river like me no joy to be diminished as beautiful. As you know too well, I am cruel and predatory beyond nightmare, an eagle with 1,000 talons. I'm like all of you. I move with unknowable intent and with a pattern that makes sense to me only. My centre spins in torment, and my outer reaches lie lazy, stolid, tamed, indeed vexingly simple and crude. I know too much or nothing at all. I'm odd and boring. I have been swallowed by opinion. I am drowning in cliché. Pig iron by moonlight, any river by day. The Tay.